Do you guys want to know what one of the wildest album covers are out there is? We are going to be talking about that album here in this Metal Mail Time.
Still in Cormier from Crazy Train. You're watching the Krash Kourse Metal Show.
Mail time.
The mail's here. Come on. Bye, guys.
So let us just jump right into it here, and we will show off the first thing that I picked up. All of these are going to be on vinyl. This is an all vinyl episode of Metal Mail Time. So first one here, we have Randy Hansen from 1980. Now, if anyone's unfamiliar with Randy Hansen, he is most known now and for a while now for one of the most in-depth, best reenactments or tributes of Jimi Hendrix. He does a great show. I've seen some of the, not in person, but like online and stuff. I've seen some of the shows that he does as a Jimi Hendrix tribute. Just really good stuff. One of the best that I've seen. But because that's not how I found Randy Hansen. I actually found Randy Hansen from Sam Kinison, actually. One of the Sam Kinison specials from like 91. It was right before Sam died. He had Randy as one of his guitar players, like for his opening, for his comedic acts.
Take it, Randy.
The hell is this guy on guitar? Like, look, fucking awesome. Great tone, a great player just from the couple minutes I've seen. And that was like when I was a teenager. So like years went by and I didn't realize that he had like actual solo albums. I always just knew him just eventually after I seen him on Sam Kinison, seen him do the Jimi Hendrix stuff. And I never really looked into seeing if he had any solo work or just studio work and stuff like that, but lo and behold, we got one here, and this is basically the one from 1980. I'm not sure 100% if this is technically his debut album, because he does have something released in 71 as well, but I don't know if that was just mainly for a soundtrack or so. I'm still a little digging into that, but let's talk about this album nonetheless. All right, so this is a good album. This first things first, like, I'm not the biggest 70s rock collector or fan, but I like it in spurts and in small doses and such. Here with, and this is kind of what you get with that, with Randy Hansen's album here. Like, Watch What You Say, really good. Time Won't Stop, catchy. It's a catchy song. It's the first, I will say, I think I do like the second half a lot better than the first half, because you do have 7 songs on here, but Don't Pretend, the final track, really, really good song, really good like ballad feel. It's a slower song. And Dancing With Me is fun. It's a fun song as well. I like this a lot, because you got Randy Hansen on guitars and vocals. And then you got Scott on bass and vocals, Charles on drums and vocals. So they do some sharing. It sounds like, too, that there is some sharing of the vocal duties as well in some of these songs. But it's what I expected from Randy. There's some good solo stuff here. solo guitars, as like guitar solos in here, and I like it. I like it. I was impressed with it. Because like I didn't know, like from seeing that it was in 1980, I'm like, ooh, it's probably gonna be like real 70s soundish. And like I said, I like the 70s. I can listen to it and stuff, but it's just not my wheelhouse. Obviously, if you guys follow the channel, it's more along the lines of like mid to early 80s to the early 90s is my real wheelhouse of rock and metal. But I'm happy nonetheless to find this and pick it up. I found it for like less than $10, so I'm like, hey, I like Randy. I like his work, everything that I've seen from him live and such. So I'm like, hey, we gotta pick it up, and more than happy to check out. But if you check out one song, do please check out "Don't Pretend." Yeah, or it's also called "Don't Pretend" with your friends as well. I've seen both titles, but on the album here, it's just "Don't Pretend." All right, so moving on to the second pick here that I picked up, we're moving a little bit deeper into the 80s now. We're in 1985, and that is going to be Heaven's Knocking on Heaven's Door. So Heaven here is an Australian band actually from Sydney, and this is the final album. They did only release 3, and this is the final one that they released here in America and just in general. 1985, and with, as you were probably suspecting, they do a cover of "Knocking on Heaven's Door," Bob Dylan's song, and very good, very good. It's probably, I think I actually like this cover a little bit better than Guns N' Roses, actually. If that is a surprise to you, I don't know if it's just because like Guns N' Roses versions just bled to death and just beaten down in your skull all the time. So this was a real nice change to the song. Very good vocals, very good just work all the way around on that song and on the album too. I like a good amount. Most of these songs did make the iPod, like "Show on the Road," "Wink of an Eye" to start out the album, "No Turning Back," "Last Laugh," "Burn," "Without Your Love" is really good. It's a good album for what it is. Now, as you can see here in the back, it's like right in that middle ground of like where glam and hard rock was starting to change too, from like the early 80s to mid 80s deal, right before say 86, 87, when things really started to move into more hardcore, glammy, polished, even to early stages of sleaze and such. But yeah, nonetheless, this is good. Very good. This has more of a sound closer to the Randy Hansen album, I would say, like that style of rock and metal compared to say like Spread Eagle or something like that, or the glam counterparts of the time of the later 80s and such like that. But I enjoyed it for what it is. Good stuff. Very good vocals all the way around, and it is released on Columbia Records, but I don't think it really did well as far as like selling, certifying, or anything of that nature. Because the album before this, Where Angels Fear to Tread, it did reach number 33 on the U.S. rock charts, but I didn't see anything for Knocking on Heaven's Door charting anywhere. So that's kind of strange, because it's a solid album for what it is. I enjoy it. Decent. There's some solos on here. There's great vocals. I don't know what the real crutch is on here, like as far as like what maybe held it back. Not sure. Maybe just the changing of like the styles at the time. 85 is kind of like I said earlier, you're getting some transitioning there in the rock and metal world, and these kind of style bands of like the earlier sound of the decade of the 80s decade was starting to fade out a little bit. Yeah, so guys, check this out. 1985, Knocking on Heaven's Door. Check out certainly the title track, the cover, and then also Without Your Love or Burn, Show on the Road. There's a decent amount of songs on here to try, and I think that you guys will like, especially if you like that mid to early 80s style rock and metal. I think there'll be something on here for you to definitely enjoy. Alrighty, guys, for our final pickup this week, I was at Tom's Music Trade again, and I actually never really listened to anything from this band before this point, but I absolutely seen one of the best covers that I've seen in a long time, album covers, and I was like, I have to just totally pick this up. And this certainly looks more on the thrash side of things, and my Spidey sense was correct. They certainly are, and it turns out that they are one of the big four of German thrash metal. So that is going to be Destruction, released from Agony. So here with Destruction, if anyone is familiar with like Creator, certainly along the lines of that, Creator, like Pleasure to Kill, that's like the first thing when I try to explain to someone this album, that it's very similar to Pleasure to Kill from Creator. But man, this is really good. I was really impressed with this. Like I said, I haven't really visited the thrash genre as much. In high school, I was very big into thrash as well, along with the glam and hair metal and stuff. But as time is going on, I'm kind of not revisiting thrash as much. Although, like, I'm still open. Like, every time I see like a thrash band or a new thrash release, I'm all about it. But it's just not the top priority, the past like couple years. But whenever I come across something, or whatever the case may be, thrash is probably my second or third favorite subgenre of metal, and very, very good stuff here. The best way I can describe, like, because with your American thrash, you have Megadeth, or Big Four: Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer. With the Germans, you got like Tank, you got Destruction, you got Creator, and the likes. Very, it's even more along the lines of speed metal mixed in with their thrash for the Germans, and very, very intense stuff. But so going here to the album, this is the third release from Destruction, and from my understanding, because I have not listened to the two previous releases before this, this is the album where they really started to go darker and heavier, and you can certainly tell just from listening to this, because you got the title track released from Agony, one of the better songs on here. Sign of Fear, really good. You do have actually 8 tracks, but the first track is a intro, so only 7 actual tracks, but you got 37 minutes worth of space here of music, and man, it feels a little bit longer than that in a good way, because actually most of these songs on here are not short. The shortest one is just a shade under 4.5 minutes, and the longest one is almost 7 minutes long. So you do have some solid songs, not in-depth songs somewhat, for as much as thrash and speed can be, for as far as in-depth. But I like it a lot. Certainly one, and who doesn't love this album cover? This album cover is awesome. I was like, I don't even care if I don't like any songs on here. I'm just buying this just for the album cover, basically. But this is the reissue that they released a couple years back, and you get a poster here of the album cover, and then you get a nice little get some nice inserts with a bunch of information and pictures, a collage from the time of the album and such. And you get the lyric sleeve as well here. But yeah, you get a lot in these reissues because I picked up their 1990 release from Tom as well, and it's the same deal, packaging and stuff. And I didn't actually get a chance to go through that album yet. It's still sitting over here. But it is the like olive green, I guess you would say, colored vinyl. So it's pretty cool. Certainly worth picking up, guys, especially if you like the thrash.
Isn't very. Shut up and take my money.
Side, and especially if you like the German side of thrash. Very, very intense. Good solos. Just great. Obviously not overproduced or anything like that. There is that raw feel to it. Really good. I like it. I would say Release from Agony or Sign of Fear is probably my favorite ones on here. But I can listen to this whole album and be happy. Very good all the way around. And obviously looking great. That is one of the best album covers I've seen probably all year. And especially in person anyway. But it just catches your attention. And that is what is great about metal and rock and just those genres and subgenres of grabbing your attention with these album covers. Because like, as a metalhead, especially like a young metalhead, when you're going through like these albums and you don't know what the music sounds like, the cover art, the album art certainly can help with what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to say that you sound like. And that's a perfect example. There's many other great examples, but this is obviously one of them here. And who doesn't love it? Who doesn't love this? So, guys, that is the pickups that I had. So just real quick recap: 1987's Destruction, Release from Agony, and then we had here Heaven, 1985's Knocking on Heaven's Door, and then we had 1980, Randy Hansen. Very good. Check out his Jimi Hendrix tributes as well, like tribute cheers and stuff. You'll be more than impressed with it, especially if you love Jimi Hendrix. There's no reason at all why you wouldn't want to watch or go see him live. Just a great guitar player as well. So, guys, that's my pickups. Let me know in the comments what you guys picked up this past couple weeks in the music world.
Talk to me, baby.
Guys, until next time, thank you for watching. Stay out of that collateral damage, and we will see you guys later.
Take it, Randy.